Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto was the Grimm King and got 20 girls harem, part 2. Huge shout out to Kaiser357246 for this story. If you want more awesome fanfiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. Konoha a month later after saving Fu. It had been a month since Team 12 found and saved Fu from the bandits. At first the girl would not let Naruto go at all. She didn't want the only other person that was like her to leave her. But after a long talk with Kushina due to her experience as a Jinchuriki, Fu let go of Naruto. They asked her why she was a captive of the bandits, and what she told them both shocked and angered them greatly. She was sold like a slave by the village of Taki, and she had seals placed on her by an old white-haired man. The man turned out to be Jiraiya. He was the one who could put the seals on Fu to make sure she couldn't use the rwby chakra in her. When asked where the seals are on her body, Fu blushed and asked for Naruto to not look. Getting the picture, Naruto made himself scarce for a little while. It was while Kushina got the seals of Fu's body that Naruto found a strange cube on the ground. When Naruto got close, the cube hummed and vibrated at his chakra, almost like a lock and key. After pocketing the cube, Naruto returned to the group to find Fu hugging Kushina like no tomorrow. After that, the group returned to Konoha. From there, Minato had Fu become a shinobi of the village. He hid the fact that she is a Jinchuriki from all but those he trusted with the secret. I.e., no one from the elders or the civilians, since either can keep their traps shut. Fu was placed on Team 12 and was now staying within the Namikaze compound. There Fu learned a great deal about how to be and how not to be a shinobi. She took to it all like a fish to water. Fu even got closer to Naruto, much to the ire of Kurami and Haku. Now the family, along with Haku and Fu, are in their personal training grounds sparring with each other. They were getting ready for the Chunin exams that were coming up in a week's time. All of the rookie teams were chosen, and a few last-minute trainings would help them. As the training was coming to an end, Naruto had an idea pop into his head. Dark said that I can unlock a person's aura. I should do that for my family and teammates, thought Naruto. Alright everyone, that is enough for today, said Minato. He took the day off to help with his children's training. I agree. You all are ready for the Chunin exams. I am so proud of you all, said Kushina. Both teams were happy to hear that. Now let's get something to eat, said Kushina. Wait. I need to say something, said Naruto. What is it, Naruto? Asked Minato. I wish to give everyone a gift, said Naruto with a smile. The group is confused by that. What do you mean, Aniki? Asked Menma. You all remember when the villagers attacked me, Kurami and Haku at our old place? Asked Naruto. Most of the group nods their heads except for Fu. Then you all remember how I fused with Haku before the fight, right? Asked Naruto. Again, they nod except Fu, who is now even more confused. Well, the power I used on that day was not a jutsu but the power of my soul, said Naruto. What do you mean, Naruto? Asked Kushina. When I was given the Grimm summon and all of the powers the night before, I was the first person in this world to have my aura and semblance unlocked, said Naruto. And what is this aura and semblance, Oniai-chan? Asked Naruto. On the world of Remnant, the people don't have the power of chakra. So, in order to fight against the creatures of the Grimm, they needed all the power to fight them. They learned to use their very souls as both a shield and a sword. My semblance is called intertwined union, and it allows me to fuse another person's soul with mine and allow me to use their powers and skills along with mine to become even more powerful, said Naruto. I see. So, if you unlock our auras, we can do the same, said Minato. No. A semblance is your soul, and everyone's soul is different. There are few that have the same semblance. More than likely everyone here will have a different semblance. But when I unlock your aura, it will be up to each of you to figure out your own semblance. It may take time, but I know that each of you will unlock it, said Naruto with a smile. The family and teammates are surprised by this. Their very souls could be used in ways that they never knew. So, who would like to go first? Asked Naruto. The family looks at each other, and they discuss who would go first. After a few minutes, Kushina was chosen to go first. So, how does this work? Asked Kushina. Simple, you hold still while I unlock your aura, said Naruto. He does over to his mother and places his hand on her forehead. For it is in passing that we achieve immortality. Through this, we become a paragon of virtue and glory to rise above all. Infinite in distance and unbound by death, I release your soul, and by my shoulder, protect thee. Kushina then began to glow as her aura awoken in her body. She could feel the power flowing through her. It felt like a piece of her was missing from her life for years was now returned to her. After a minute, Kushina stopped glowing. Wow! I feel incredible! I feel whole, like a piece of me was missing for so long and it is now back. Thank you, Sochi, said Kushina. You're welcome, Ka-san, said Naruto with a smile on his face. How do you feel, Kushina? Asked Tsunade. Like I said, I feel whole and I feel like I can go 3 rounds with Kurami back to back, said Kushina. Kurami gains a fanged grin on her face at that. Oh? Is that so, Kushina? Would you like to test that? She asked with her hands making claws. Kushina glared at the kitsune girl and readies her chains. Anytime, Fuzzy Butt. Don't call me Fuzzy Butt, yelled Kurami. The two begin to bicker like sisters do, and the group of people laugh at the sight. After a few minutes, both Minato and Naruto calmed their wife and girlfriend down. Naruto then repeated the process and unlocked his family's and teammates' auras. The only ones he didn't unlock were Akemi and Akane since they were too young for it, but he did promise to unlock their aura when they graduate from the academy. From there, the family worked hard in unlocking their semblances, but only Haku and Naruto were able to. Haku's semblance is icy touch in that she can paralyze anyone she touches. At the moment, she can paralyze someone for around 10 seconds. But Naruto says that with time she can push it to a higher amount. Naruto's semblance is called Chakra Thief in that she can steal other people's chakra and replenish her own. She was even able to use her chains as a means to absorb multiple people at the same time. Naruto believes that Naruto could also take the energy of the world around her in case there is no chakra. The family and teammates continue to train for the upcoming Chunin exams. When asked if he would unlock other people's semblance, Naruto said that he would, but that would happen after the Chunin exams. But as the family gets ready, a dark problem is coming from beyond the horizon. Deep in the land of lightning, in a small village, we find one of the most hated people in Konoha right now. Jiraiya the Toad Sage. And what is this pervert doing? Well, listen in and find out. Oh yeah? That's it. By Kami, the women of this village are just what I need for my new book. And so now looks like you got bigger since I last saw you, said Jiraiya as he peeped on some women from behind a rock. But before Jiraiya can continue, a voice alerts the women to his peeping. Jiraiya-sama! Jiraiya-sama! The women hearing that scream and run away from the worst pervert in the nations. Wait, ladies! Come back! Damn it! Alright, what is the big idea with Tito? What the hell are you doing here? Asked Jiraiya. The now named Tito runs over to Jiraiya out of breath and begins to speak with Jiraiya. We have a problem, Jiraiya-sama, said Tito. What is it this time? Did someone from Konoha find Minato and his family again? If that is the case, then I need to deal with them before they get back to Konoha, said Jiraiya. Worse, Jiraiya-sama. They are gone, said Tito. Jiraiya frowns at that. What do you mean they're gone? I mean they are gone. 2 months ago, someone set my place on fire and killed all of my messenger birds. I had to figure out what happened to my shop, and while I did that, they just disappeared. No warning, no explanation, not even a goodbye. They just up and left like someone controlled them to leave. Jiraiya is now as pale as Orochimaru with this news. Damn it! This is not what was supposed to happen. And why did it take you 2 months to tell me this? Jiraiya-sama, I told you that all of my birds were killed and not by the fire. Someone murdered my birds. They knew I was a spy, most likely for you. And you never told me of any other spies you have in your employ, so I had to find you myself, explained Tito. Jiraiya sighs at that. It was true he never told any of his spies of other spies as a security measure. Alright, fine. Just get back to your shop and keep an eye out for them if they return. And get some new birds, I need you back in your village and to keep the info coming. Tito nods and rushes back to his village. Damn it. Why did they leave? I had everything planned and yet somehow, they leave with Tito not even noticing. No, someone must have helped them whether or not they knew about it. But who would help them? And why? What does someone gain from having them leave? They are no doubt in Konoha now and trying to connect with Naruto, but with them not being with him for years and having him alone all this time, Naruto no doubts hates his family and is pushing them away, said Jiraiya. In time Naruto will snap and Minato will have no choice but to kill Naruto and send the QB to hell. The QB needs to be off the board. It cannot be controlled and is just a mindless beast that needs to die, and with the modifications on Naruto's seal will send the QB straight into the Shinigami when Naruto dies. For now, I need to get to Konoha and make sure that Minato and Kushina see things my way. Good thing I have those seals on them to help with that, said Jiraiya. Jiraiya then leaves for Konoha unaware of the pain that he is going to be in when he arrives. Konoha a day later. It was a day before the exams and Naruto and his team were walking around the village since they were done with training for the day. Naruto-kun, are you excited for the exams? Asked Fu. You bet. I aim to win the exams and get the Chunin rank, said Naruto. I hope that we all do. It will be cool to get the rank of Chunin so soon after becoming Genin, said Haku. True, but you were trained by Zabuza for years. If anyone is ready for the exams and the one worthy of getting the rank of Chunin is you, Haku-chan, said Naruto. Haku blushes at the praise. Thank you, Naruto-sama. I do hope that Zabuza-tausen is okay in the Kiri War, she said with a little bit of worry in her voice. Naruto turns around and gave Haku a hug while Kurami was in her fox form gave Haku a lick on her cheek to cheer her up. Haku returned the hug with a smile. Don't worry, Haku-chan. Zabuza is one of the most powerful shinobi in the world. He can take anything thrown at him, said Naruto as he tries to cheer her up. Fu gets in on the hug and tries to help her teammate. Naruto-kun is right. Your father will be fine. And if they ask for help, then I'm sure Hokage-sama will send aid, said Fu. The group stay there for a moment until they let go of each other. Thank you. I am glad that the three of you are here for me, said Haku. Team 12 continues walking through the village until they hear a shout. Ouch! Damn punk! Watch where you're going. The group runs over to see a tall boy around their age holding up a boy a few years younger than them, and a blonde-haired woman stands near the tall boy with an irritated look on her face. Put the kid down, Kankuro. We don't have time for this, and he won't like it if he finds out about this, said the blonde girl. Yeah, well, he is not here right now, and this punk needs to look here. He is going, said the boy. The boy brings his fist back to punch the boy but stops when something is pointed at his throat. Kankuro looks down to see a bone-like blade attached to an arm is near his throat. Kankuro sweats at the blade and looks to his right to see Naruto with his Grimm mask on and Kurami hissing at him. Put the San Daimyo's grandson down or you will lose an arm, permanently, said Naruto in a dark tone. Kankuro drops the boy and backs up from the teen. Kono, you okay? Asked Naruto. I'm okay, Naruto-nizen. I was just about to make my move, said a happy Konohamaru. Naruto smiles at the boy as he takes off his mask and retracts his bones back into his body. The girl blushes at Naruto's handsome face. I am sure, Kono. So I am going to assume that you and your team are here for the exams, right? Yes. This is my brother Kankuro, and my name is Temari no Sabaku. We are here for the exams, answered Temari with the blush on her face getting bigger. And is the one glaring at your brother in the trees also with you? Asked Naruto. The two look to the tree and pale at what they see. From the tree comes a boy with red hair and raccoon-like eyes and the kanji for love on his forehead. This is Gaara no Sabaku. Gaara appears in a swirl of sand in front of the group and glares at Kankuro. Kankuro, you're an embarrassment to the village, said Gaara. But Gaara! The brat ran into me and Kankuro tried to explain. Shut up, or I'll kill you, said Gaara as those around him raised an eyebrow at that. I apologize for my stupid brother. He is not bright. No harm done. He was fortunate that he didn't hurt Kono here. Wars have been started for less. Also, your brother shouldn't be out in broad daylight with your sister's makeup on his face, said Naruto with a smirk. Gaara grins a bit while the girls and Kono laugh at Kankuro. It's war paint, yelled Kankuro. Then why does the makeup box in your pocket say the property of Temari no Sabaku? Asked Naruto. Kankuro was then bashed into the ground by his sister's iron fan. I knew it. That is my makeup, you bastard. I apologize, but I need to teach my brother to not steal my makeup, said Temari. She then grabs Kankuro by his leg and drags him away. Naruto and the group laugh at the sight. Naruto then turns to Gaara. Well, we will see you during the exams. I hope to see how strong you are, Ichibi, said Naruto with a grin on his face. Gaara looks to Naruto with his own grin. I agree. I hope you give me a great fight, QB. Mother wants both yours and the Nanabai's blood. And she will have it. Gaara then walks away to catch up with his siblings to help Temari punish Kankuro for his stupidity. The group watches as Gaara leaves. When he is out of sight, Naruto turns to Kono. I think you should head home for the day, Kono, and stay out of the way for a few days. Okay, Naruto knees in. Good luck in the exams, said Kono as he goes home to see his grandfather. Alright girls, let's get going, said Naruto. Haku and Fu nod and they walk away from the area. But before they get far, Naruto calls out to someone. And get out of the tree, Sasuke. You aren't fooling anyone. Team 12 leaves the area as the spoiled Uchiha brat drops out of the tree. Damn that dope. I don't know how he got so strong, but that power will be mine by the end of the exams. I swear it on father's honor, snarled Sasuke. Sasuke then went out to find Kakashi for some last-minute training before the exams. I cannot believe that the elders got Sasuke back into the main force of the Ninja Corps. Why do they love him so much? Asked Kurami. Simple, Sasuke is easy to manipulate. They hope to use him to control the clan heads of the council. The Uchiha clan holds a great amount of hold on the council. However, Mikoto Kazan is the current clan head with Itachi Nizan as the clan heir. Plus, they want an Uchiha in their pocket to control me, or more to the point, you my dear vixen, said Naruto. Kurami nuzzles Naruto's face with affection. The group continues down the street until Naruto stops in his tracks. He turns to an ally and calls out. You can come out now, kitty cat, said Naruto. Haku and Fu are confused until a blonde-haired girl around their age walks out of the ally with a scowl on her face. Do not call me that. I hate it when people call me that, said the girl. It is probably better than what most people call you. Isn't that right, Nibby? Asked Naruto. Haku and Fu are shocked to see another Jinchuriki in the village along with the Uchibi. The girl looks away with a pained look on her face at that. Yeah, you're right. But I still don't like it. So, you're the QB Jinchuriki, huh? And if I am right, the green-haired girl is the Nanabai Jinchuriki, said the girl. Fu walks up to the girl and extends her hand to her. Nice to meet you. My name is Fu. It's good to see a sister in burden, said a happy Fu. The girl is taken back a bit by Fu's demeanor, but she returns the handshake. Yujuto ni of Kyumo. Nice to meet you, Yujuto-san. So, is the Hachibi going to introduce himself? Asked Naruto as he looks up to the roof of a nearby building. Yujuto is surprised to hear that as she and the others look up and see a large man with dark skin and a muscular build, as well with white hair and a goatee, with multiple swords on his back. With him are 3 teenagers around the same age as Naruto and his team. The only man of the genin group has dark skin with short, spiky white hair. He appears a little nervous in being in Konoha. The girl to his left has red hair and dark skin with amber eyes. She has a look of annoyance with her male teammate. The final girl has blonde hair, smooth white skin and blue eyes. She has a neutral look on her face as she stares at Team 12. Be-sensei, said Yujuto. Yo! We were look for you, kitty cat, said B. I said don't call me that, yelled Yugito. Nei-chan, why did you wander off? Asked the blonde-haired girl. Sigh, I just wanted to look around. Is that so wrong? Asked Yugito. Yo! You got to be careful, kitty. We in another village. Got to be smooth with the grove in here. Rapped B, badly at that. The genin of Kumo sigh at B's bad rapping while Naruto, Haku and Fu along with the 4 Biju just sweat drop at it. Naruto looks over at the other blonde-haired Jinchuriki and asks, Is he always like this? All the damn time, was Yugito's answer. So, not cool, said the other blonde Kumo genin. The two groups speak with each other for a few minutes until the Kumo team leave. Killer B, however, warns Naruto and Fu that the 2 Jinchuriki of IWA are in Konoha as senseis. Naruto, Haku, Fu and Kurami head over to tell Minato of this development. Hokage Tower. Naruto and his team enter the tower and see that Minato was hard at work getting the village ready for the Chunin exams. It had to dealt with carefully with the amount of teams coming in from the other villages, especially due to the fact that the granddaughter of the Tsuchika-gi was entering in the exams, along with the Kazika-gi's children as well. There were a lot of important children in the village right now. One wrong move and the village could be drawn into a war that they don't need. It didn't help that Danzo came in a few hours ago and tried to convince Minato to have those children kidnapped so as to have more bloodlines in the village. Of course Minato said no, but the damn war hawk was very persistent in Minato doing this. Minato stood his ground, however, and told the old fool off. Danzo left the room in a huff and was wondering why his Sharingan wasn't working on Minato. What Danzo doesn't know is that Minato and Kushina placed anti-gain jutsu seals in the office to prevent the Hokage from being controlled by them. As Minato continued to battle the bane of all Kages, Team 12 came into the room. Hey Tusan. Buried in paperwork again? Asked Naruto. Minato chuckles. Yes, I am. The Chunin exams are an important part for peace between the hidden villages, but it is a pain to deal with. The good news is that we only have to deal with it once every few years. True. We saw different teams already in the village with a few looking like they were ready to come to blows with each other, said Naruto. Sigh, I thought as much. So what brings you 3 here? I doubt you came here just to talk about the piles of paperwork that I have to deal with, said Minato. The team laughs or giggles at that. You're right, Hokage-sama. We ran into 3 other Jinchuriki while we were out in the village, said Haku. Yeah. And the Hachibi told us that the IWA Jinchurikis are here as teachers, said Fu. Minato narrows his eyes at that. Interesting. Which Biju are going to be in the exams that you know of? Asked Minato. Out of the 9 Biju, only my brother the Sanbai and my sister the Rokubi are not here in Konoha. My brothers the Hachibi, Yambi and Gobi are in the senseis of Kumo and IWA, while my younger sisters the Ichibi and the Nibi are going to be in the exams, said Kurami. Minato closes his eyes when he hears that. He then sighs. This is not good. If Danzo hears about this, then he will stop at nothing to get them and make them weapons, said Minato. There is something else. My sister the Ichibi feels off. I think that something is wrong with her, but I would need to get closer to her to find out, said Kurami. Minato closed his eyes in thought. He then opened them and looked his son and his team. For now we can do nothing. While the reveal of 7 Biju in Konoha puts this village at risk, they are contained right now, with Kurami being the exception. I want you to keep an eye on the 2 of Jinchuriki in the exams, while I will have some Jonin keep an eye on the others. We don't need the other 5 going on a rampage in the village, said Minato. Hi, said Naruto and his teammates. Good. Head home for the day and get ready for the exams tomorrow. I look forward to each of you giving your all in the exams, said Minato with a smile. Naruto and Ko nod their heads and leave the tower. Minato sighs and slumps in his chair. This just got harder. First this mess with Jiraiya and Naruto, the info about Orochimaru, and now 7 of the 9 Biju are in the village right now. I need to keep Danzo away from them, or he will cause a war with the other nations, damn warhawk," said Minato. Minato then set up some of his most trusted jonin to look after the Jinchuriki that are not going to be in the exams, while he trusted Naruto and his team along with his other children to keep an eye on the other two Jinchuriki in the exams. He can only hope that nothing goes too wrong during the exams. Next day / Konoha Academy. Naruto with Fu and Haku by his side with Kurami around his neck look up at the building that held the first part of the exams. "We should go in, Naruto-sama. We don't want to be late," said Haku. "Yeah. Let's go," said Fu. Okay, let's get going," said Naruto. "Hey Fu, do you have your mask?" asked Kurami. Fu looked down and brought out the mask that she had to wear during the exams. "Yeah, I do, but I don't want to wear it. I want people to know my face and see that I can be a shinobi just like everyone else," said Fu. "Fu, you know why you have to wear it, right? The village of Taki has sent 3 teams here to take part of the exams. If even one of them notices you, then they will send word back to Taki and the village could start a war to get you back," said Naruto. "I know. I just hate this. They got rid of me because they hated me. So why would they want me back?" asked Fu. "Because of Chome. You know just like I do that the council of most villages don't care about Jinchuriki. They just see us as weapons or animals to listen to their master whenever they blow out a command to us," said Naruto. Fu listened to Naruto. "We finally have a great life here in Konoha. The council has not yet found out that you carry me, and we have many friends here. Don't let the fools of Taki ruin it just because they saw you. Please Fu, I don't like this either, but I would rather do this than have those idiots try to take us away from here," said Chome. Fu sighs but nods her head. "I get it. I do. I'll wear the mask to hide myself, but I am telling you this. If anyone from Taki tries to take me from my new home, I will not hold back," said Fu as she put on the mask. Naruto, Haku, and Kurami smile at the green girl. "We wouldn't have it any other way," said Naruto. Team 12 then walked into the building looking for the testing site. As they walked and looked for the testing room, they see a large group of people trying to enter a room with the number 301. Naruto shakes his head and begins to walk away. "Naruto-sama, where are you going? The room we need to enter is right there," said Haku. "No, it's not. It's a test to weed out the weak. We are on the 2nd floor, so we need to go up 1 more floor," said Naruto. Haku and Fu nod their heads and walk away. But before they could get far, a loud, obnoxious voice shouts out, "Drop the Gain Jutsu! You won't fool an elite like me!" yelled Sasuke. Naruto growls and Kurami snarls at the Uchiha's short-sightedness, while Haku and Fu shake their heads at that. "Hey dumbass! You just made the exams much harder for the rest of us," yelled Naruto. Sasuke scoffs. "So what? The more people in the exams will allow more people to see my greatness," said Sasuke as he walks past Naruto and shoulder checks him. Team 12 glare at Sasuke and his teammates, which are Sakura Haruno, Sakura's twin younger sister and devoted Sasuke fangirl, and a pale young man that Naruto doesn't know. Team 12 makes their way up the steps only to step to the right to dodge a black blur being sent back down. The team looks down to see that Sasuke was sent back down the steps, and when Team 12 looked up they saw who did the deed. The teen was at least a year older than them, a bowl-cut hair, wearing a green jumpsuit and the bushiest eyebrows the world has ever seen. "Nice moves," said Naruto as he and his teammates continued to walk up, ignoring the bruised Uchiha on the ground and the pink screaming banshee as it ran after her object of blind devotion, and the pale teen shaking his head in annoyance. The teen smiles. "Thank you. I wanted to test the rookie of this year and see if he lived up to what I have heard. I am disappointed with what I have seen." Not surprising. The teachers and the civilian council gave him the title to appease him. "I guarantee that if my father was here when Sasuke was in the academy, he wouldn't have gotten it," said Naruto. The teen looks at Naruto with wide eyes and then realizes who he was. "I see. You are one of the Yandai Mei's children. The name's Rock Lee. I wish to fight you to see what you are made of," challenged the now-known Rock Lee. Sorry, Lee. But that will have to wait until we are in the exams. Once there I will give you one hell of a fight. I give you my word, said Naruto. Lee frowns but nods his head. The 4 teens and 1 hidden Biju make their way to the Rio Room 301 and then enter. There they see many other teams looking to enter the exams. When they enter the room, almost every team look at them and give them their best killer intent that they could. There was just one problem. Naruto and Fu had to deal with a hell of a lot worse K.I. than this from their respective Biju, and Haku was raised by Zabuza, who could flood this room with K.I. and kill these brats without even trying. Naruto got annoyed and shot out his own K.I., and most of the teams hit the floor when they got hit with it. After 30 seconds, Naruto let up with the K.I. and smiled at the teams with a predatory grin. Is there a problem? Asked Naruto. The teens shook their heads no and prayed that they didn't have to fight this genin in the exams. The only ones not affected by Naruto's K.I. were those from Konoha, since they weren't his targets, his fellow Jinchuriki, and the few teams that didn't try to intimidate Naruto's team. That was interesting. I wonder if he is good in a fight. If he is, then he would be a great husband for me, thought a girl from the village of Nadeshiko. Holy shit. That was nuts. Nibi was that? Asked Yujito. No, kitten. That was not my sister's power but his own. He is strong, kitten, probably the strongest genin in the room right now. He would make a good mate for you and give you a strong litter of kittens, said Matatabi. What? Don't say such things. I would kill me if I dated him, since he is the son of the Yandai Hokage. Besides, it takes more than power and a cute face to make me like someone, thought Yujito. Oh? He is cute, is he? I see my little kitty is finally growing up. I can't wait to see the kittens that you will make with him, said Matatabi. Damn it, listen to me, Yujito thought / yelled at the Nibi with a blush on her face. Damn, that was crazy. What was that? Asked Kankuro. That was Uzumaki making sure that everyone in the room now that he is not someone to mess with. Kankuro, Temari, we must leave him alone once the second part begins. He is stronger than most. I will deal with him alone, said Gaara. Are you sure, Gaara? Asked a worried Temari. She may be afraid of her brother at times, but she still loves him greatly. Gaara nods his head and the conversation ends at that. Hey Naruto, said a voice. Naruto and his team looks over to see teams 7, 8, 10 and 11 walk over to meet up with him and his team. Kiba was the one who spoke up. Hey Kiba, everyone. How are you doing? Asked Naruto. Great. I am so looking forward to these exams and ranking up to Chunin, said Kiba as Akamaru barks on Kiba's head. Troublesome. Why did Asuma-sensei want us to take part in these exams? We have only been genin for a few months, said Shikamaru. Shikamaru is then smacked in the back of his head by Ino. Lazy baka. Asuma-sensei told us already. It's so that we can get experience. Even if we don't make it to the Chunin rank, we will have a better handle on it later, said Ino. She does have a point, Shika, said Choji as he ate some chips. Naruto and the others chuckle. I see some things haven't changed since we last saw each other. Nope. I have to work my butt off to make sure that one is awake while we train and the other actually trains and not just eat all the time, said Ino. And I see that you are doing a great job at that, said Naruto. Ino blushes at the praise. Thanks, Naruto. So how are you doing? Haven't seen you since we graduated, said Ino. Pretty good these past few months once my family came back. I will admit that it is a bit rocky with us at times, but I am glad that I have them in my life now, said Naruto. Naruto's siblings smile at that. They know that it has not been easy for him since they came back with their parents. I am glad that you have them back, Naruto-kun, said Hinata. Thanks, Hinata-chan. How are you doing? Asked Naruto. Hinata blushes at that and smiles. I'm good. Kurenai-sensei has been a great teacher and I have learned a lot under her, said Hinata. For a few more minutes the teens speak with each other, and talk about all that they have done these past few months. Kiba was also flirting with Naruto, and she actually flirted back much to Naruto and Menma's ire. Protective brothers to the end. Just then a voice is heard by the teens. You should keep it down. You guys just started your first Chunin exams and a lot of the other teams are out for blood, said a teen with glasses and gray hair. Naruto looked at him and glared. His power was well beyond that of a genin, and the way he was postured was that of an experienced warrior. And who are you? Asked Kiba. Sorry, name's Kabuto. This is my 7th try at the Chunin exams, answered the now known Kabuto. Naruto continues to glare at Kabuto. Either this guy sucks at these exams, thought Naruto, or he is after something. Plus, he smells of snakes. And not like the ones that Anko lady has with her. Kabuto smells snakes and a sterile lab, said Kurami through the mental link that she shares with Naruto. I need to let Toussaint know about him. If Kabuto is with Orochimaru, then he can't be allowed to escape, thought Naruto. You must suck then, said Kiba. Yeah, but to my own defense. These exams are not easy. If you want, I can give you information about some of the other competitors, said Kabuto. And you would just give this info out for free? Asked Menma. Well, I wouldn't give out info on me or my team, so I don't see the harm in it, said Kabuto. I want information, said Sasuke as he marched over to the group and pushed a few people out of the way. Naruto growled at the spoiled Uchiha prince while Satsuki had to be held back by Sakura and Mito. Sure. Who do you want to know? Asked Kabuto. I want info on Gaara no Sabaku, Rock Lee and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, said Sasuke. Most of the genin of Konoha glare at Sasuke for wanting info on fellow Konoha shinobi. A few other teams were curious about who was no doubt the son of the Yondaime Hokage. You know their names? That takes the fun out of it, but okay, said Kabuto. He then takes out his cards and puts chakra in them, and pictures of Gaara, Lee and Naruto appear on them. Let's see, Gaara no Sabaku, his record is impressive with 12 C-rank missions completed, 2 B-ranks and an A-rank mission under his belt, and it is said that he has not gotten hurt once on a mission. Most of the teams look at Gaara with wide eyes at his stats, but had to look away when he glared at them. Next is Rock Lee. Has a high mastery of taijutsu but nothing on anything else. Completed 20 D-rank, 12 C-ranks and a single B-rank. His teacher is Might Guy and his teammates are Tenten Higurashi and Niji Hyuga. An interesting record to be sure, said Kabuto. But just as he was about to look at Naruto's card, it was swiped out of his hand by Naruto himself. You know, that isn't very nice. Telling everyone what we can do takes the fun out of the exams. You wouldn't want to do that now, would you? Asked Naruto as his eyes turned grim red and emitted his K.I. at Kabuto. Kabuto shivered at the K.I. Right, my apologize. What the fuck was that? No genin should have that kind of K.I. Not even someone who is a Jinchuriki, thought Kabuto. Well, with that out of the way, most of the hidden villages have sent their genin here for the exams. Even Oto has sent a single genin team, but since they are a new village, I don't think that they will be much of a problem, said Kabuto. I don't think you should have said that, said Naruto. And why is that? Asked Kabuto. Just then one of the Oto nin attacked Kabuto and forced Kabuto to the ground, breaking his glasses. Naruto was quick to not only disable the Oto nin that attacked but also grabbed Kabuto's cards and tagged Kabuto with the Grimm marks so that Naruto could track him down later. Naruto then leans down at Kabuto with a grin on his face. Because they heard you. And what is your problem? Asked Naruto to the Oto nin. Just showing 4 eyes here that the village of Oto is going to win this Chunin exams, said the Oto nin. Just then a jonin enters the room. Okay, you brats. Listen up. Sit in your seats and shut up. And you from Oto. Attack another person, then you and your team will be banned from the rest of the exams, yelled the man. Sorry, sir. I am just anxious, said the Oto nin. Don't care. Now shut up. Name's Ibiki Moreno, your proctor for this part of the exams. As well as your worst nightmare, said Ibiki. Most of the genin shiver at the crazed smile on the man's face. Now time to begin the first test, said Ibiki. To be continued. I am so sorry about the long wait. I meant to get this out months ago, but some assholes killed my muse for my Naruto stories. I have been getting it back little by little, and right now that this one is the only one that I can work on at the moment. So I will work on this story and my other My Hero stories. So we are now in the Chunin exams arc. And a few things are going to change soon. I will get the next chapter out soon, I hope. But before we leave, I have a little present for you. My first ever omake. Well, this is more like a look into the future of this story, so read below and find out. Omake/Beacon Academy. One last thing, Ojbin. There is something I wish to speak with you about, one of your students, said Ironwood. Which student, James? Asked Ojbin. You know which, Naruto Namikaze. He is an anomaly. He can use magic even though he is not a maiden, has a number of powers that are not a part of his semblance, and he can control Grimm. Ojbin, he shouldn't be with the other students, said Ironwood. And where should he be? In a lab to be studied? In a prison cell because he is different? Or maybe cut open so that his secrets could be replicated for your soldiers? Asked Ojbin as he drank his cocoa. No. But he shouldn't be here in Beacon. For all we know, he could be Salem's son or an experiment of hers to get the relics, said Ironwood. I doubt it. If he was with Salem, then he wouldn't have saved Amber from Salem's forces. Or even help Amber get her stolen powers back. No, Naruto is on our side in this war with Salem, that I know, said Ojbin. Ironwood sighs as he walks over to the elevator. I just hope that you are right, Ojbin. For all our sakes, said Ironwood as he steps into the elevator. After Ironwood leaves, Ojbin looks out the window and at his school's grounds. I hope so as well, said Ojbin. After given the rules of the first part of the exams, the genin teams sit down and begin the test. The test is to gather information from others in the room without getting caught. Most of the teams begin working hard except for Naruto. He was taking a nap with Kurami on his lap, sleeping with the senseis. Looks like the test has begun, said Kurenai. Yup, but they have Ibiki. I pity them, said Asuma. Ah, don't worry. Ibiki is just a big teddy bear, said Obito. Yeah, I don't think so, sweetie. If Ibiki is a big teddy bear, then Bakashur is not a pervert, said Rin. Most of the senseis laugh at the comment, while Kakashi glares at his former teammate. Is the name calling necessary? Asked Kakashi. Yes. You let your anger get the better of you for no reason, said Rin. Kakashi looks away in a huff and goes back to his book, which makes the women in the room glare at him. Guy then noticed that something in the room. Kushina-sama, why is your son asleep? Asked Guy. Kushina looked at Naruto and began to smirk. Oh, he is not sleeping. He is waiting, said Kushina. Waiting for what? Asked Asuma. For the right time to strike, said Kushina. Back with the genin. Ibiki looks around for any cheaters and then notices that Naruto was asleep. He grits his teeth and walks over to Naruto and smacks him awake. Hey! If you're just going to sleep, then leave, said Ibiki. Naruto shakes his head and looks around and sees that most of the teams are looking at him with a smug look on their faces. How long until the test is over? Asked Naruto. 5 minutes. Why going to give up? Asked Ibiki. Naruto doesn't answer but gets up and walks away. Most of the teams think that he was going to give up, but Naruto walks over to an IWA genin and punches the genin out and takes his test. What the hell are you doing? Yelled Ibiki. Cheating, if I am not mistaken. You still have to catch me 2 more times to kick me out. Isn't that right? Asked Naruto. Ibiki grins at Naruto. The rest of the genin look at Naruto like he was a crazy person. Not bad, kid. Okay, no one else is allowed to do what he did, yelled Ibiki. Why not? Yelled Akumo-nin. Because we are ninjas, and the same technique doesn't work twice. Now shut up and get back to work. You only have 3 minutes left, yelled Ibiki. After that, the rest of the teams get back to work to finish before the test ends. With the senseis, Kushina was howling with laughter. Asuma shakes his head while Kurenai was surprised. Guy was shouting about youth and Kakashi was glaring at Naruto. Ha! I knew he would do that, said Kushina. Didn't you do that for your test, Kushina-sama? Asked Rin. Yup. I also punched an IWA Nin too. He really is my son, said Kushina. Kakashi just glares at Naruto all the while. He shouldn't be like this. Naruto was to remain stupid and docile until he broke. I still don't understand why Sensei came back so soon. I need to get word out to Jiraiya as quickly as I can, thought Kakashi. With the exams? Once the test was over, Ibiki looked at the teams that were left in the room. There were more than what he was hoping to have, but that was something that he was hoping to change with this one last test. Okay, runts. Time for the last question. And there is a trick to the last question. You don't have to take the last question if you don't want to, said Ibiki. And why wouldn't we want to? Asked Temari. Because if you get it wrong, then not only will you fail the exams, but you won't be able to take any other Chunin exams for the rest of your lives, said Ibiki with a dark gleam in his eyes. What? Yelled most of the genin. You can't do that, yelled another genin. I can and will. Hokage-sama gave me this right. So, will you take the chance, or will you give up here? Asked Ibiki. Some of the genin begin to leave out of fear of losing their chance to be Chunin later on. Ibiki began to smirk at his handiwork when Naruto got up. A few thought that he was going to quit too, but he proves them wrong when Naruto punches his desk. Do you honestly think that is going to scare me? It doesn't matter if I never rank up as a shinobi. I will face everything head on, said Naruto. A few began to look at Naruto with impressed looks on their faces, with a few kunoichi from other villages were interested with him as well. He is interesting. But I still wish to see how he is in a fight before I try to pursue him as a husband, thought Shizuka from Nadeshiko. How cool, thought Samui of Kumo. Chuckle. Out of all the Konoha genin here, he would be the one that catches my attention. I wonder how my grandfather would react if I tried to date him? Thought Kuratsuchi of IWA. Ibiki looked at the remaining genin and smirks. Looks like no one else is going to leave. That kid really is like his parents, thought Ibiki. I see. So you all are going to stay, huh? Well, then there is only one thing to say to you all. You all passed, said Ibiki with a smirk. Most of the genin look at Ibiki with dropped jaws and wide eyes. Naruto, Gaara and Yujito all look at the jonin with a knowing look on their faces. What? Yelled the rest of the genin. The last question was a test to see if you had the guts to do anything for this job, said Ibiki. He then takes off his headbands to show the genin the scars over his face. This job is not easy or for the faint of heart. There will be times that you will have to go beyond for the mission, and it will be up to each of you to complete it. Just then a ball smashes through the window with shards of glass hitting a genin from Taki on the head, knocking the genin out. The ball opens up to show a banner with the words, "The single and sexy Anko Mitarashi is here." A woman with spiky purple hair drops from the ball, and her choice of attire makes most of the male genin blush. Hello, future bleeding brats. The psycho bitch Anko Mitarashi is here, yelled the now known Anko. Most of the genin were shocked while Ibiki shook his head. Naruto, however, had a card with the numbers 8, 3 on it in his hands. Anko sees the card and goes along with it. Ah, only an 8. 3? Asked Anko. It didn't have fireworks, and you knocked out one of the genin. If you're going to make an entrance, then you would need as many people awake to see it, said Naruto. Fair point. But I did have fireworks years ago, and I was told to never do it again since 2 genin got caught on fire, said Anko with a smile on her face that unnerves the other genin at her psychotic smile. Anko, you're early, said Ibiki. That's what she said, said Anko. Naruto and a few teachers laugh at that while most of the genin blush. I see that you let a lot of genin pass Ibiki. It seems that you are losing your touch, said Anko. Hardly. It just seems that we have one hell of a genin in the group, said Ibiki as he looked at Naruto. Naruto smiles and gives Ibiki the peace symbol. Anko giggles at Naruto. I see. But once I am through with them, they will be cut in half. Now, brats, meet me at the Forest of Death for the next part of the exams, said Anko as she dashed out the window. Most of the genin's sweat drop at how Anko acts. Ibiki sighs when Anko left the room. Naruto and his team gets up and jump out the window after Anko. When that happened, Naruto, Natsumi and Menma follow their brother while the other Konoha genin also went out the window when the rest of the genin tried to get out through the door and got stuck. Entrance of the Forest of Death. An hour later, the Chunin hopefuls are standing in front of the Forest of Death. For most genin, they were scared of this place as they could feel the danger of the forest. But for Naruto, well, for him it was like a second home for him. Okay, brats, listen up. For the second test, you all will have to collect 2 scrolls and bring them both to the tower in the center of the forest. The thing is, the other teams will have the scrolls that you will need to pass. Do whatever you need to in order to get the scroll you will need. You each will need a heaven and an earth scroll to pass. And do not open them before you get to the tower. Not only will you fail, but you will get a surprise if you do, said Anko. Naruto looks out at the forest and smirks. This would be easy for him and his team since he knows the forest like the back of his hand. So this is the Forest of Death? It doesn't look like much, scoffed Sasuke. Sasuke then feels something slice his cheek and he feels someone press themselves against his back and hears a voice in his ear. Is that so? You know, tough guys like you often die first in the forest. I can tell you about all the Uchihas that died in the forest if you want, asked Anko. Sasuke fought and failed to hide his shudder. Sakuri was screaming at Anko to leave Sasuke alone while their final teammate Sai sighed at his team. After scaring the Uchiha prince and licking the brat's blood, which Anko said that it tasted foul, Anko walked back over to the front of the forest to continue. Now before we begin, I need you to sign these forms, said Anko. What are they? Asked Oma. Oh, just waivers that will allow Konoha to not get in trouble should any of you get hurt or worse while in the forest, said Anko. Naruto takes a form and reads what is on it out loud. This waiver hereby grants all deniability to Konoha for any injuries or death-related incidents to the signed parties. Such injuries include but not limited to broken bones, stab wounds, impalement, drowning, being burned alive, being struck by lightning, crushed by boulders, dismemberment, disembowelment, decapitation, being devoured by the wildlife of the forest or by the other teams, or any injuries that may otherwise occur while in the forest. Read Naruto. Most of the genin pale at what Naruto reads, but it got even worse when Naruto spoke up again. Really, Anko? Why is the list so short? This doesn't even cover half of what could happen in the forest, said Naruto. The other genin, even Naruto's siblings, paled to the point that they all looked like Orochimaru clones. Anko grins at Naruto. Oh, you know, I didn't want to spoil all the pain that they could get into while in the forest. I look forward to hearing them scream in fear, said Anko. A few genin are now terrified of both Anko and Naruto since the two are both chuckling and have a grin on their faces that would make most run in another direction. It got even worse for the genin when the fox on Naruto's neck begins to laugh with the two. Okay, kiddies. Time to get in there, said Anko. The teams gathered the scrolls and waited for the time to get in. A few minutes later, the doors open and Anko calls out. Okay, get in there. And try not to die, yelled Anko. Naruto and his team rushes into the forest ready to show everyone that they are ready to rank up. With Kakashi. Kakashi was walking home after watching his team enter the forest. He had nothing to worry about since his prize student is in the forest right now. While he wished that he could have had more time to train Sakuri, he knows that she will at least survive the forest. And he had no worries about Sai since he was trained by Danzo himself. Kakashi was angry, however, that Naruto was getting stronger by the minute. Learning Fuinjutsu from his parents along with Kenjutsu from Kushina and even the hummingbird fighting style from his father, and the Rasengan as well. And that is not even mentioning the bloodlines that he somehow unlocked. I need to contact Jiraiya somehow. But I can't since the dog summons won't listen to me anymore and most of my messengers are either in prison or out of the village right now," said Kakashi. Kakashi enters his home to rest and figure out how to contact Jiraiya when he hears a voice. "Welcome home, Kakashi," said Jiraiya from the sofa with a serious look on his face. Kakashi whipped his head over to see Jiraiya on his sofa with a wide eye. "Jiraiya-sama? When did you get here?" asked Kakashi. "About an hour ago. I came back because Minato and Kushina went missing with their family a few months ago." "Are they here?" asked Jiraiya. Kakashi sighs and sits down in a chair and hands the Sannin a bottle of water. "Yeah, they are here. And it is not good," said Kakashi. Jiraiya drinks the water and asks, "How bad?" asked Jiraiya. "Very bad. Minato and Kushina know everything that happened to Naruto, and they were pissed. They killed 6 civilian council members when they got back out of anger," answered Kakashi. "Damn. Was Mabuki one of them?" asked Jiraiya. "No, thank Kami. But ever since the daimyo gave Minato his position as Hokage back to him, Minato has been fixing everything that was changed since he left. He even took me off Team 7 as its sensei as well as Sasuke and Naruto," said Kakashi. "Then who is the sensei of Team 7? And what about Sasuke? You know that we need him for the plan to work, right?" asked Jiraiya. "Of course I know that. But after reading and find out all the doctored reports, Minato removed him from the main Shinobi Corps. It was only thanks to the silver tongues of the elders that I got Sasuke back as my student in Team 13 with Mabuki's other daughter Sakuri and one of Danzo's students Sai," said Kakashi. "That's good. What about Naruto? What happened to him?" asked Jiraiya. "Well, after Naruto and Sasuke was removed from Team 7, Tsunade's daughter Mito was added as a replacement with Rin as their teacher. Naruto, Natsumi and Menma are being taught by Obito and Kushina has Naruto as her student with Hakuyuki Momochi and a girl named Fu," said Kakashi. "Wait, Fu? Does this girl have tan skin and green hair?" asked Jiraiya. "Yeah, why?" asked Kakashi. "Fuck. That girl is the Nanabai Jinchuriki. I sealed her up tight, and was able to get her sold to bandits months ago. Why is she here?" yelled Jiraiya. "The first mission Kushina took Naruto and Haku on was an extermination mission to the border of Taki. When they got there they rescued Fu and brought her back. Minato made her a ninja and placed her on Team 12 to fill in for the missing member," said Kakashi. "Damn it! I thought that I wouldn't have to deal with her again. Wait, is Naruto angry with his parents?" asked Jiraiya. "No. He is close with them. It is strange. He was thrown to the wolves and he still loves them. I don't understand why he doesn't hate them," said Kakashi. "Damn it. This can't get any worse," said Jiraiya. "Actually it is. Naruto has powers that he shouldn't have," said Kakashi. "What do you mean? What powers?" asked Jiraiya. "Jiraiya, Naruto was somehow able to unlock not only his chakra chains thanks to Kushina during his training, but he also has the dead bone pulse and the crystal release, along with a powerful summons that only he has access to called the Grimm. He even used some technique to fuse himself with that Haku girl to for a short time to get even stronger," said Kakashi. "Damn. This is bad. We need to fix this before anything else happens," said Jiraiya, who was in desperate need of a drink. "There is one last thing that I need to tell you. It's about the QB," said Kakashi. "What about that mindless beast?" asked Jiraiya as he took a drink of water. "The QB is free from Naruto," said Kakashi. Jiraiya spits out his water at Kakashi in surprise. "What? How is that possible? That seal was Minato's masterpiece. There was no way in hell that the QB was going to escape it," yelled Jiraiya. "I don't know. The only ones who know the truth are Minato, Kushina, Hiruzen, Tsunade, the clan heads, the daimyo, and Naruto. No one else was allowed at that meeting, and the secret of how the QB got out is a SSS class secret," said Kakashi as he dries himself off. Jiraiya slumps in the sofa and sighs. Years of hard work are going down the fucking drain faster than he could fill it. "Where is the QB?" asked Jiraiya. "With Naruto. While the QB might be out of him, the QB is still anchored to him. That is the only good thing about her," said Kakashi. Jiraiya nods his head at that, but then remembers what was just said. "Her? What do you mean by that?" asked Jiraiya. "QB is a girl, and I will admit that she has looks that rival most Hyugas and even Tsunade when she was younger," said Kakashi. Jiraiya looks down at the ground and growls. This was not how it was supposed to go. Sasuke was supposed to be trained to the point that his ancestor Indra would awaken within him and give Sasuke the mark of the moon. Once Sasuke got the Rinnegan, then they would train Sasuke with it while Jiraiya went from village to village and weaken each of the Jinchurikis so that the villages would be too weak to fight back against an Uchiha with the power of the Sage of Six Paths and 3 shinobi powered with QB chakra. This plan was made after Jiraiya, Danzo, and Fugaku's father found an old scroll that could only be read by someone with the Sharingan, but only a pure-blooded Uchiha could read it. The scroll told the story of the Sage of Six Paths and his sons. How the oldest son would be reincarnated in the Uchiha clan, and how the youngest son would reincarnate in either the Senju or the Uzumaki clans. When they found out about those powers, these 3 men began a long and complicated journey to control the powers of the sage. The first was destroying the Senju and Uzumaki clans to a trickle of what they once were. Danzo and Jiraiya helped to kill off the Uzumaki by giving the other villages ways of entering Uzushio, and even disabling the few Injutsu seals on the islands and bringing Kushina to Konoha. To also having Nawaki murdered by Uchihas loyal to Fugaku's father years ago. Then of course working the third war their way to ensure that they would be able to track the Biju along the way. But they did have a few problems along as well. The first was that Rin and Obito survived the war, which was not supposed to happen, as Jiraiya wanted Minato to focus on Kakashi only since Kakashi had been converted by Danzo before he became Minato's student. Then Fugaku's father dies in a mission gone wrong, and then his power-hungry son took over the Uchiha clan. Danzo and Jiraiya took a chance in telling Fugaku of the plan, and for a long time it seemed that he was all for it. But then he tried to start a coup to take over the village. In the battle, all of Fugaku's loyal members were cut down by Itachi and Shurshui while Fugaku escaped. And now everything that they had planned was hinged on Naruto dying, since he is Ashura's reincarnation, and he was the only one who could defeat Sasuke or Indra. And once Naruto died, then he would take the QB with him, and they would be rid of the strongest Biju in the nations. Plus, it would make the Moon-Eyed plan impossible to achieve. Jiraiya sighs. Kami fucking damn. Why is this happening? We have been planning this for years now, and it seems that it is falling apart in the last few months for some strange reason. What do we do? Asked Kakashi. Jiraiya closes his eyes and thinks. I want you to send out word to Taki about Fu. Once they find out that Konoha has her, then Taki will pressure Minato to give the girl back. Once she is out of the village, I will tag her with even stronger seals to make sure that she will never be free again. We need as many Biju subdued before we begin the final part of the plan, said Jiraiya. Why don't we use her as a weapon? Asked Kakashi. Jiraiya sighs at that. Danzo works too well to make his pawns like him. I have told you. The Jinchuriki with Biju in them need their emotions to use the power correctly. That is why Naruto, Natsumi, and Menma will be able to use the QB power in them without any problems, since they won't have a mindless beast getting in their way of using the power, said Jiraiya. I understand. What will you do then? Asked Kakashi. It's time that my students saw things my way. Once I get to the tower, I will activate the seals on both Minato and Kushina to make them listen to me, and then we will deal with both Naruto and QB, said Jiraiya. Very well. I will deal with the message to Taki immediately, said Kakashi. Jiraiya then left the house while Kakashi began to make the message to Taki. What neither shinobi noticed was that 2A and B were watching them and listening in on everything. I can't believe this. Damn monster. said Itachi as his eyes blazed with his Sharingan spinning at what he had heard of what they planned for his brother. Easy, Itachi. We need to tell Hokage-sama. Leave Jiraiya to Tsunade-sama and Lord Third, said Shurshui. Itachi nods his head. The two then run off to inform Minato of what they have learned. Jiraiya was walking to the tower when he felt a presence near him. A dark presence that he has not felt in years. Not since he peeped on Tsunade years ago. Just then Jiraiya had to dodge a punch at his head. He jumped back and looked at who attacked him to see Tsunade standing in front of him with a dark smirk on her face. Hello, pervert. We need to talk, said Tsunade as she cracked her knuckles. Jiraiya sweats and backs up at the dark look on his former teammate. Hey Tsunade. Why all the hostility? Asked Jiraiya as he looks for a way to escape. Oh, I have a few reasons. All the times you peeped on me, when you tried to hide Dan's sperm so that I couldn't carry his children. And let's not forget that you lied to me about Minato and Kushina along with their children. And then there is this whole thing that I learned when I got back to Konoha that my godson Naruto was being treated like crap because of you, said Tsunade. Her eyes went red in anger at the super pervert in front of her. Her chakra flared in rage and dashed forward fast enough that Jiraiya couldn't dodge. Tsunade punched Jiraiya so hard in the gut that she almost destroyed his stomach with the impact. Gah! Tsunade, listen to me, pleaded Jiraiya. No. I am done listening to you. You have silver-tongued your way out of enough problems. Now it is time that you feel the pain of your actions, said Tsunade. Tsunade then went on to pummel the pervert into the ground for a few minutes. However, Jiraiya was able to jump onto a rooftop and tried to run off. Tried being the key word since he was then surrounded by ANBU agents, with Hiruzen leading them. Jiraiya sees his sensei and widens his eyes. Sensei, said Jiraiya. Hiruzen shakes his head. I am disappointed in you, Jiraiya. You have fallen so low. Just as low as Orochimaru. ANBU, take him, ordered Hiruzen. Jiraiya moves from the ANBU but is then blindsided by Tsunade. Jiraiya tries to fight them off, but with years of inactivity he was out of shape in this fight. Jiraiya was then hit over the head by a staff held by his sensei. Jiraiya was losing consciousness when he heard his sensei speak. Take him to the TNI right away. And inform the Hokage that we captured him, ordered Hiruzen. Yes, Lord Third, said the ANBU. Jiraiya was bound and dragged to the TNI department for interrogation for all that he knows and all that he has done. Hokage Tower. Minato and Kushina are in the office talking to each other about how their children will do in the exams when Itachi and Shurshui enter the office. Ah, Crow Weasel. How did the operation go in capturing Jiraiya? Asked Minato. It went well, Hokage-sama. Lord Third and Tsunade were able to capture him with little difficulty, said Shurshui. But there is one thing that we need to tell you, Father. We overheard that Jiraiya placed seals on you and Kushina to control the both of you. We believe that he needs to be close to you to activate them, or he would have used them earlier, said Itachi. Minato and Kushina frowned at that news. I see. Head to TNI and wait for us there. Kushina and I need to find these seals before Jiraiya tries to use them on us, said Minato. Hi, said both Uchihas and left the room. Minato sighs and then speaks. ANBU, leave the room until I call you back. Yes, Hokage-sama, said the ANBU agents in the room, who then left as they were ordered. To think that Jiraiya would go this far just for whatever he has planned, said Minato. We really should have seen this coming. Jiraiya has lied, killed, and ruined lives for so many people. But that is not something we can change. Right now we need to remove the seals that are on us right now before we go and meet with Jiraiya, said Kushina. Minato nods his head. You're right. Let me look for the seal on you and then you can find the one on me. Don't just look for one. Jiraiya would have placed more than one to make sure that all his bases are covered, said Kushina. Minato nods his head again and begins to look over his wife for the seals on her. After a half-hour, Minato found over 8 seals on his wife placed by Jiraiya to control her. By the looks on the seals, the oldest was placed on her when the Kyubi attacked, while the others were placed on her over the years. Kushina, while angry, she did the same for Minato, and to her shock she found over 13 seals on Minato. Each one were made to control Minato in some manner, but they would also make Minato a puppet to Jiraiya should the seals had been activated. After that, the two went to the TNI department to find out what Jiraiya was planning for Naruto and their children. TNI department. Minato and Kushina walks toward where Jiraiya was locked up. Here they find Hiruzen, Tsunade, and Ibiki waiting for them, along with Crow, Weasel, and a detachment of ANBU agents waiting for them. Report, said Minato. Jiraiya has been locked up tight in his cell. So far he hasn't said anything, but that is due to an injured jaw, said Ibiki. Good. Tsunade, I know that you won't like this, but I need you to heal Jiraiya just enough to talk. But no more than that, said Minato. You're right, I don't like this, but I understand that he needs his jaw to speak. Sigh, fine, give me 20 minutes and he will be ready, said Tsunade as she walks into the cell with 4 ANBU by her side to keep her safe and to make sure that Jiraiya doesn't escape. Minato then looks to Ibiki and the ANBU in the room. Once me and Kushina enter the cell, I want each of you to keep a close eye on the two of us. Should we change in any way or twitch in the slightest, you are ordered to enter and detain us with these seals. Jiraiya has for years placed numerous seals on me and my wife to control us should we go against us. Should that happen, Hiruzen, I want you to take command until our children are finished with the exams and let them look us over to find the seals and destroy them. We can't allow Jiraiya to have any leverage over us, said Minato. Hi-ho, Kage-sama, said the ANBU. We will do as commanded, father. Though I don't like it, said Itachi. Neither do we, Itachi-kun. But Jiraiya has been planning this for years. Probably before most of us were born. We would have taken many steps to make sure that this plan doesn't fail, said Kushina. Agreed. Jiraiya may be a pervert and a fool at times, but he is far from stupid. Be careful, Minato. Kushina, we just got you back, said Hiruzen. Don't worry, old monkey. We got this, said Kushina with a smirk. Hiruzen grumbles at the nickname, while a few chuckle at it. Tsunade exits the cell a minute later and nods to Minato and Kushina, who nod back. Minato and Kushina enter the cell after that with Ibiki and 8 ANBU with them. Once they enter the cell, they see that Jiraiya was still bleeding but was stable for an interrogation. Jiraiya looks up to see his student and his wife and grins a bit. He then used hand signs to try to control them. But for a few seconds nothing happened, to the shock of Jiraiya and the relief of those watching. Jiraiya tries again and again, but nothing happens. Minato looks at his sensei in anger. You can stop Jiraiya. The seals that would control us are gone, said Minato. Jiraiya widens his eyes in surprise, anger, and fear. Kushina walks over to Jiraiya and grabs him by his face and brings him up to her eye level and glares at the man. You have a lot to answer for towards my son, and I will get everything in that head of yours, one way or another, said Kushina. Jiraiya couldn't do anything but sweat in fear. Why? Why was everything working against him? Unknown to everyone in the room, someone else was watching with hidden glee. Chuckle. This is just the start of your punishment, Jiraiya. No one crosses me and gets away with it. You hurt my champion for your own gain. I know that you won't die for some time, but I will see to it that everything that you have planned will fail. Soon those that you thought as gone will rise once again, with Uzushio returning to the world, thought Kami. Forest of Death / 1 hour after exam began. Naruto and his team had been staying in the trees since they got into the forest. Naruto knew the forest better than most other than Anko. They were looking for a team with an Earth Scroll to match the Heaven Scroll to pass the test. They had seen a few teams, but left them alone since they didn't have the scroll that they were looking for. While it would have been a good idea to take them out of the exams, they decided that fighting so soon would waste energy and give their location away to other teams in the area. Naruto-sama, how much further until we get to the tower? Asked Haku. A few hours from here, The tower is in the center of the forest, and it is past a few dangerous areas, said Naruto. Are there any giant bugs in the area? Asked Fu. A few. Why? Got an idea? Asked Naruto. Yeah. Chomei and I used to use the giant bugs in the forests around Taki to protect us from those that wanted to harm me. Once we get the scroll we need, then we can go through the area that has the bugs to cover ourselves from the other teams, said Fu. Naruto, Haku, and Kurami nod their heads. Good idea. But like you said, we need to find the scroll we need. Come on, there is a river near here. We might find a team to take the scroll from, said Naruto. The team makes their way deeper into the forest, unaware that a team was watching them. Is that her? Asked a Taki shinobi. Yes. It's Fu. They may have covered her face and changed her name, but that is her, said another Taki shinobi. Why didn't we tell our Jonin sensei that she was here? Asked the final Taki shinobi. Because idiot, if we capture her and bring her back to Taki, then we will be promoted to Chunin right off the bat. Plus, once we capture her we can have some fun along the way back to Taki, said the second Taki genin with a grin on his face, which the other two mimic. Now come on. Let's get her and get out of this forest. The Taki team makes their way after Team 12. With Team 7, Mito, Sakura, and Satsuki were making their way through the forest towards the tower. They got lucky when an IWA team tried to corner them for fun, but the IWA team underestimated the girls and were beaten into the earth. They got the scroll they need to move on to the next part of the exam. Sakura not only grew under Rin, but she also began training with Tsunade as well. Not much right now, some basic heal techniques and a bit of strength training, so beating the IWA Nin were easy. Seriously, you would think that they wouldn't underestimate us since we're shinobi, but no. They just see a bunch of hot girls that they can try to rape. Idiots, said Satsuki. I hear ya. But since they did, we got the drop on them and we now just need to get to the tower, said Mito. Yeah. Come on, let's go. I want to get out of this forest. It creeps me out. I don't understand how Naruto can live here, said Sakura. You heard him, Sakura. The villagers didn't really give him a choice. It was either try and stay in the village or deal with the man-eaters in the forest. At least with the man-eaters you know what they want and won't lie to your face, said Satsuki. Sakura sighs. Yeah, I know that. I just wish that wasn't the case for Naruto. He has been my friend for years now, and I didn't even know that he lived in this forest. What kind of a friend am I? Mito places a hand on the pink girl. It's fine, Sakura. He hid that from you for your protection. If you knew, then you would no doubt want to come and see him here. If you did that, then you would have been eaten by any one of the animals in the forest, or you could have led the shinobi to where Naruto was living. And that would have taken away his one safe place. Sakura sighs once again at that. You're right. I just wish I could have done more when we were younger. We all do, Sakura. But we can't change that. What we can do here and now is make a better future. Now come on. We should get going. I don't want to deal with any other teams, said Satsuki. The girls nod their heads and went on their way to the tower, leaving the area while leaving the IWA team on the ground bleeding. Just then another IWA team made their way into the area and looked down at the downed IWA team. Damn. Those girls did a number on these guys, said a large genin. Of course they did. One is an Uchiha, the other is a Senju, and if the info we have is right, then the pink girl has just started training under Tsunade Senju and Rin Uchiha, said Kuratsuchi. One of the Sannin and a student of the Yondaime? Oh man, that isn't good, said another female IWA genin. Yeah. Come on. We need to find a scroll. Let's take one from Kiri and move on, said Kuratsuchi. Why not from one of the Yondaime children? Asked the male IWA genin. Kuratsuchi grins. And not humiliate them in front of their father? Hell no! I want to beat them with their father watching to show that IWA will be better than them. She then dashes off to find a team to fight. Both of her teammates sigh. She just wants to fight the Yondaime's oldest son, said the female genin. Yeah. She has a crush on him. I wonder how her grandfather will react? Asked the male genin. Probably have a heart attack, said the female genin. Probably right, said the male genin. Hey! Hurry up! I want to get to the next stage already, yelled Kuratsuchi. Team 11. Menma, Naruto and Natsumi were having a little bit of trouble in the forest. They had already taken down 2 teams, but they didn't have the scroll they needed to pass. Now they had just killed 3 massive tigers that wanted to eat them. They made it out of the attack with little injuries but were tired now. Damn it! Why is this so hard? Naruto can do this with ease, so why are we having such difficulty? Asked Menma. Menma, you know why Naruto can do this. He lived in this forest for years thanks to the idiots in the village, said Natsumi with a scowl on her face when she thought about Naruto's treatment in the village. Yeah. Those meanies! I can't wait until we get a piece of Jiraiya for what he did, said Naruto. You will have to get in line, Naruto-nichan. And that line is behind Tusan, Ka-san and Naruto-nizan. And I don't think we are going to get anything from him once they are done with him, said Menma. Yeah. I wonder where Jiraiya is right now, wondered Naruto. Probably peeping on some women in a random village, said Natsumi. Probably right. Sigh, he gives men a bad name. Come on, Nichins, we should go find a heaven scroll to move on, said Menma. The sisters nod their heads and move out. When they left, a team of kunoichi entered the area. Said Shizuka. What is it, Shizuka-sama? Asked one of the other kunoichi. It's nothing, said Shizuka. It's about the boy that got your attention in the first exams, isn't it? Asked the other kunoichi. Maybe it was Uchiha, said Shizuka. But what about him makes you think that he could be a good husband? What about the boy's brother? Asked Uchiha. That is why I wanted to look into the Yandaime's youngest son. But in doing so we learned that the oldest son wasn't well liked in the village for some reason. But instead of hating the village, he still wishes to protect it. He continues to grow my interest. Now let's move. Uchiha, Baho, let's go, said Shizuka. The other 2 kunoichi nod their heads and move after their leader. Team 12. Naruto and his team were near the river drinking some water. As they do, they wait for the team that was following them to appear. Naruto? Asked Fu. Yes, Chome? Asked Naruto. Fu's cover for the exams was using her Biju's name to hide her identity. Can we deal with those idiots now? They haven't left us alone, and it is getting annoying, said Fu. Sure. Okay, morons. You can come out now, said Naruto. The Taki shinobi enter the area with scowls on their faces. So you noticed us, said the lead Taki shinobi. Of course we noticed you. We just didn't care about any of you, said Naruto. Kurami, Fu and Haku giggle at the angry looks on the Taki shinobi. The Taki shinobi growl at Naruto. Shut up. Now hand over Fu to us right now. She needs to go back to Taki with us, said the lead Taki genin. Naruto, Fu and Haku glare at them. Fu could feel that Chome was glaring at the Taki genin. I don't know what you're talking about, but I think that you all should leave. Now, said Naruto. Don't lie to us. We know that girl with you is Fu. She may be wearing a mask, but she didn't change her hair color, and that Biju bitch has mint green hair. Now hand her over and we will leave you alone, said the Taki genin. Fu glared at the Taki genin but then shook in rage when she recognized the one yelling. I know you! You were that bastard Zuna who tried to rape me when I was sick and couldn't fight back. I thought that the bugs got you, said Fu, since she knew hiding herself was beyond this point. I got away by the skin of my teeth. Now I will make you my bitch. It's time to go home, said Zuna. I am home. This place has been treating me better than when I was in Taki. At least they let me stay within the village, yelled Fu. Something that a freak like you don't deserve, yelled Zuna. I am not a freak. I am a human being, and I won't let you or anyone else try to tell me otherwise, yelled Fu. Just then a loud sound began to emanate from Fu. It sounded like a cicada chirping, but then it grew louder and louder. The Taki-nin began to cover their ears in pain, but Naruto, Haku, and Kurami weren't affected by the sound. Just then the eardrums of the Taki-nin burst with blood flowing out. The sound stopped with Fu panting but was still able to stand upright. She began to walk towards the downed genin while she took out her twin daggers. "Damn you, monster. I knew that you are a freak," said Zuna. "I told you. I am no freak. That sound was my soul, something that you and those from Taki have told me time and time again that I never had. But it doesn't matter anymore. You aren't getting out of this forest," said Fu. Zuna went wide eyes at that. He then looked to Naruto and Haku. "Hey! Stop her! She is going to kill us!" yelled Zuna. Haku and Naruto crossed their arms. "Yeah, and?" asked Naruto. "Why should we stop her? She has every right to put you three in the ground for how you treated her back in Taki. If you didn't want this, then you should have been nicer to her before," said Haku. "Yeah, what Haku-chan said. Besides, if I stopped Fu, then I would be a hypocrite. So go ahead, Fu. Do what you need to do," said Naruto. "Thanks, Naruto-kun," said Fu with a smile that Anko would approve of. The Taki genin didn't last another minute as Fu tore into them. She unleashed all the rage and hate that she had on the village of Taki onto the three genin. The rotten food that she was given, the poor houses that she was forced to live in, the cold nights she had to endure, to the numerous rape attempts that Taki shinobi and civilians tried on her. She made them feel all the pain that she had to feel because of something that was beyond her control. By the time she was done, there was nothing left of the Taki shinobi to send back to the village. There wasn't enough to satisfy the smallest animal's hunger, not even a mouse. Fu panted as she was coated in blood from head to toe. She felt like all the pain and horror that she had to deal with had washed away from her soul. She then fell to the ground on her knees as the adrenaline was wearing off. Naruto, Haku, and Kurami walked over to her and found her awake but panting heavily. "You okay, Fu?" asked Naruto. Fu nods her head at Naruto and looks into his eyes and has a look in them that has Chome shivering in his prison. Naruto looks up and sees that the sun was about to set, and they needed to get to some shelter for the night. "Come on, girls. My home here in the forest is nearby. We can stay there for the night and resume to the tower in the morning," said Naruto. "Agreed. It is unfortunate that the Taki team didn't have the scroll we needed," said Haku. Naruto nods and picks Fu up, and the team makes their way to Naruto's hidden home. Once there, Naruto places Fu on the bed and took out some preserved food for his team. Haku had gotten water for everyone, which Naruto was drinking when Fu walked over to Naruto and grabbed his shirt. Naruto raised an eyebrow and looked to Fu. But before he could ask a question, Fu kissed Naruto on the lips. Haku and Kurami were wide-eyed as Fu kissed Naruto. After a full 3 minutes of kissing, Fu allows Naruto to breathe again. But what Fu says next was shocking. "Naruto, sex now," said Fu. Naruto, Haku, and Kurami were shocked by that and looked at Fu with wide eyes. "I'm sorry, but what did you say, Fu?" asked Naruto. "I said that I want to have sex with you right now. And I am gonna get it," yelled Fu. She then grabbed Naruto by his collar and dragged him to the bed while taking off her clothes. Haku and Kurami looked to each other. "Did that just happen?" asked Haku. Yes, it did. You know what we need to do now, right?" asked Kurami. Haku tilted her head. "No. What is it?" "We join them, duh!" yelled Kurami. She then turned into her human form and began to drag Haku into the bedroom to have fun with Naruto. Haku was trying to stop Kurami but was unable to escape. "Wait! I'm not ready!" yelled Haku. "Yes, you are! Now come on! We don't want to get behind Fu now, do we?" yelled Kurami with a mad gleam in her eyes. Haku could do nothing but let the crazy fox Biju drag her into the room with Naruto and Fu. Team 8 was making their way to an old hollowed-out tree to rest for the night. Just then Hinata shook violently. She looked deep into the forest and emitted high levels of killing intent. So much so that a few bears that wanted to attack her and her team ran away from the angry Uchiha. "What is wrong, Hinata?" asked Shino. "Someone has gotten ahead of me," said Hinata cryptically. She then walked into the tree to plan her revenge for whoever got ahead of her with Naruto. Shino and Kiba were confused and shocked by the shy Hyuga's attitude. "What is wrong with Hinata? She has never acted like this," said Kiba. "I do not know. What I do know is that I would not get in her way. The consequences would be dire," said Shino. Team 7. Team 7 had just found a great place to sleep for the night, and were making traps to protect themselves during the night. Just then both Sakura and Satsuki felt a twinge of jealous rage course through their bodies. Mito noticed this. "What is it, you two? Are you okay?" asked Mito. Sakura and Satsuki didn't answer but looked at each other and nodded. They then went on to make highly dangerous traps that could kill the most experienced jonin with ease. All the while the two were muttering about ways to get even with the one who got ahead of them. Mito watched with a sweat drop as her two teammates worked on the traps. She then sighs and looks toward the village. "I need to ask Ka-san what this is all about because I am so confused right now," said Mito. Kiri. Zabuza was in the middle of interrogating a captured nin for info when he felt a twinge of overprotective fatherly impulses. He growled and took his anger out on the poor soul in front of him. When he realized that he killed the captured nin, he called out, "Get me a fresh one in here. This one didn't give me anything," roared Zabuza, as he waited for his next victim. "When I see that brat again, Haku better be pure or I swear his head is going up on my mantle," thought Zabuza. When the next nin was brought in, they were used as a scapegoat, and practiced to what Zabuza would do to Naruto should anything happen to Haku. Konoha/Messenger Birds Depot. Kakashi had just entered the housing for all the messenger birds in Konoha. He had written a letter to Taki about Fu being in Konoha as one of its shinobi. While he wants to have the girl as a weapon under Lord Danzo's command, Lord Jiraiya has explained that the root program won't allow her to be used in such a manner due to the biju in her. Kakashi placed the message on the bird's foot and told it to fly to Taki. After watching the bird fly away, he left for home to wait for his team to return from the forest as victors. As he walks home, he misses that the bird was taken down to the ground by another bird. While the messenger bird was injured, it wasn't killed. The other bird lands on the shoulder of an ANBU agent. The ANBU agent pets his summon on the head for a job well done, and pocketed the message and went to TNI to inform the Hokage that the message to Taki was taken care of. Forest of Death / following morning. Naruto had just woken up in his home away from home in the Forest of Death. He then feels some weight on him, and when he looks he widens his eyes when he sees not only Kurami naked but also Haku and Fu in his bed as well. He then remembers just what happened last night. Fu wanted to have sex with Naruto after she killed the Taki genin in a fit of pure anger and rage. She was still on an adrenaline high, and wasn't about to take no for an answer regarding her having sex with Naruto. Of course, not wanting to be outdone by Fu, both Haku and Kurami went in to join them. Well, it was more Kurami dragging Haku in since the ice user was shy about it. Naruto plants his head on his pillow and looks to the ceiling. Oh fucking crap. I just know so many people are going to kill me. I just know it, thought Naruto. Naruto shook his head and got out from under the girls and made breakfast for them. After the girls woke up, with Haku blushing like no tomorrow while Fu and Kurami had bright smiles on their faces, Team 12 went on their way out to find the scroll that they needed. Just as the team were about to enter an open field, they heard a loud shout. "Help!" yelled a female voice. Naruto and the girls ran to where the voice came from to find a red-haired girl with glasses over her eyes running from a bear. Naruto summoned an Alpha Ursa Grimm to scare the bear away. "Are you okay?" asked Fu. The girl caught her breath and looked up to the team. "Yes, I am okay. Thank you for saving me." "Why did that bear want to kill you?" asked Haku as she healed a few wounds on the girl. "Grr. My stupid teammates thought that it would be funny to hurt that bear's children. After the mother bear killed my team, she tried to kill me. I ran as fast as I could to get away when you saved me, said the girl. Did your teammates do not know that old saying, leave sleeping bears where they lie? Asked Fu, since even she knew not to mess with a mother bear. Apparently not, said the girl. Well, at least that you are safe, said Naruto as he walked over after sent the Ursa away. The girl blushed at Naruto's face. Excuse me? Do you have the scroll that your team had? Asked Haku. Yes, I do. I wasn't about to let those idiots hold it. It's an earth scroll. Here, you can have it, said girl. Great. We need that to move on, said Fu, who grabbed the scroll and put it away. The girl then remembers something from the first exam and looked to Naruto. Are by chance an Uzumaki? Asked the girl. I am on my mother's side. Why do you ask? Asked Naruto. The girl smiled. Because I am an Uzumaki too. My name is Karin Uzumaki. Naruto and his team widens their eyes at that. Naruto sensed that she really is an Uzumaki. Naruto then brought Karin into a hug, which she returned while she let out a few tears. After a few minutes, the two Uzumakis let go. It is nice to meet you, Karin. What village are you from? Asked Naruto. Karin flinches at the question but answered. I was from Grass, but I ran off after the village not only got my father killed but worked my mother to death. They used her healing abilities to the point that she dropped dead while working, and my father was given dangerous missions solo with little pay and even less time to rest. They then used me to replace my mother as the village's primary healer. I ran off and was found by Orochimaru to be used as a spy for him and a few others. She answered with tears falling down her face. She then showed them the bite marks on her arms and legs. This horrified the team, even Kurami. Naruto looked absolutely furious that his family was treated like this. I swear, when I get my hands on the Kage of Grass, I am going to rip his legs off and throw him and his severed legs in a deep hole and leave him there and tell him to eat his legs if he wants to live. No one does this to my family, thought Naruto. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. Karin is with us now. Minato can classify Karin as dead and she can stay here in the village with her true family, said Kurami through the link that she has with Naruto. Naruto calms Karin down along with Fu and Haku. It's going to be okay, Karin. You are with family now and we will help you. You mean it? Asked Karin with hope in her eyes. I promise, said Naruto. Karin nods her head. But what about Orochimaru? He won't let me go so easily. Plus, I have 2 friends under his control. I can't leave them with him. And one of them is an Uzumaki too. Naruto was about to answer when he and Kurami felt something far off. A vile aura that his Grimm senses could pick up with ease. Naruto looked to the distance and narrows his eyes. Haku, Fu, take Karin and head towards the tower. I will meet you there later, said Naruto. What is it, Naruto-sama? Asked Haku. Orochimaru. I can sense his vile aura in the forest. And I can tell that he is up to something. I want you to leave while I look into it, said Naruto. No, don't. He is too powerful for you to fight him, said Karin, who didn't want to lose her newfound family. Don't worry, Karin. I will be fine, said Naruto. He then dashed off into the forest. The girls watch as Naruto and Kurami dash off to find Orochimaru with worry in their eyes. Come on, girls. We need to move on to the tower. Naruto said that he would meet us there, said Fu. Haku and Karin nod their heads and head on out to the tower, all the while hoping that Naruto will be okay. Team 13. Sai was on the ground bleeding lightly but had to hold his broken arm. Sakuri was out with a head wound and 2 broken legs, while Sasuke was in the clutches of Orochimaru and had just gotten bitten by the man and had a mark on his neck. How disappointing, Sasuke. I was told that you were a powerful shinobi. As you are now, you will never be stronger than Itachi or your father Fugaku, said Orochimaru. Sasuke glares at Orochimaru. I will be stronger than Itachi. He isn't even a pure-blooded Uchiha. Just the son of a whore and a stupid blonde bastard. I will kill all of them and show my father my greatness. I know that you will, I have given you a taste of power, and in time you will come to me for more," said Orochimaru as he dropped Sasuke to the ground. Just as Orochimaru was about to leave, he jumped out of the way of multiple snakes being sent at him. "Ah, hello, Anko dear. I see that you still hold that feudal grudge against me," said Orochimaru. Anko was on a nearby tree glaring at her former master. "It is not a feudal grudge. I will kill you!" yelled Anko. She then dashed at her tormentor with snakes and kunai at the ready to kill him. Orochimaru dodges with ease and a smile. "Oh, poor sweat Anko. You will never beat me." He then went through hand signs, but to his surprise Anko wasn't on the ground screaming in pain. Anko grins when she sees the surprised look on his face. "Hoping to hurt me with your stupid seal? Good for me that Hokage-sama and his wife was able to remove the seal on me. Now your vile mark is gone from my skin and I will remove you from this world." Orochimaru frowns at that. "I see. Well then, I had best mark you once again." But before he could try to mark Anko with a new seal, he had to dodge a massive white snake with red eyes and bone-like armor on its head. Orochimaru was surprised to see such a snake. "I must admit, Anko, this is a different snake than what you normally use," said Orochimaru. "That one isn't mine," said Anko, since she was just as surprised. "No, it is mine," said Naruto as he was on the top of a black snake head that was attached to the white head with Kurami not seen. "Naruto," said Anko. Well, the Yandai Mei's oldest. I see that the reports about you having a unique summon wasn't a lie. Wolves, bears, even creatures that most thought were just myths, and now even snakes. Just what kind of summon do you have?" asked Orochimaru. Naruto just glares at Orochimaru. He then makes 3 shadow clones and has them take Sai, Sakuri, and Sasuke out of the area. Sai was the only one still awake since Sasuke passed out after Anko showed up. "Interesting. You would help them even though 2 out of 3 of them hate your guts. I can't help but wonder why," asked Orochimaru. "Despite that, they are still Konoha shinobi. I won't leave them with the likes of you," said Naruto as his King Taijutsu began to hiss at Orochimaru. Orochimaru chuckles. How amusing, the most hated man in the village still tries to show everyone that he isn't a monster. "That is where you are wrong. I am a monster, but one created by the village's hatred. The difference from you and I is that I still hold on to my humanity," said Naruto. "What good is humanity to godhood? It doesn't matter. But since you are here, I might as well deal with you and the QB inside of you," said Orochimaru. Naruto grins. "It seems that you haven't heard." "I haven't heard what?" asked Orochimaru. He then sensed something behind him but was unable to dodge the full attack and got a huge gash on his arm. He then had to jump back when the Black King Taijutsu almost bit his head off, but then switched with a mud clone when the white head bit into him. Orochimaru held his arm and glared at what dared to harm him, but widened his eyes when he saw a fox with 9 tails standing next to Naruto with blood on its teeth. "QB," breathed out Orochimaru. He then knew that he was out of his league and dashed out of the area. "No! Damn it! He got away again," said Anko. "He hasn't yet," said Naruto. Naruto then put his hand on the blood from Orochimaru and summoned another Grimm. This one looked like a fusion with a man and a horse. Its arms were longer than a normal man, and had a horn mask over its face, and like his brethren had bone-like armor over its body. "Find the owner of this blood, and hunt him down," said Naruto as he held out the blood to the Kukulevi. The Kukulevi smelled the blood and let out a loud scream and ran off to find the owner on the blood. After it ran off, both Naruto and Anko could hear the sounds of other genin teams screaming in fear of the beast. Anko grins as the Kukulevi runs off. "Damn Gaki. Am I glad that you are on our side?" Naruto grins right back. "Damn right." He then sensed something else nearby. "Damn. I have to go, Anko. My team needs my help. It seems that Orochimaru has a few pawns left in the forest. Also, I wasn't able to let anyone know without letting the spy know, but Kabuto works for Orochimaru. Me and Kurami smelled the scent of snakes and a sterile lab. Got Gaki. Go and help your team," said Anko as she dashes off to let the Hokage know of what happened in the forest. Kurami returns to a normal fox size and jumps onto Naruto's neck as he rides the King Taijutsu to where his team is. With teams 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Most of the genin from Konoha was here fighting off not only 2 members of the Oto team since the girl, named Kin, joined the Konoha genin since she was friends with Karin. Fighting besides the other 2 Oto nin are the other 2 teams from Taki trying to get Fu back, 2 grass teams that wanted Karin back and a team from IWA that wanted to kill the Yandaime's children. Sai was the only member of his team awake but was failing to stay awake due to the pain that he was in. Natsumi, Haku, Sakura and Mito was doing everything that they could to help him, Sakuri and Sasuke of their injuries. Lee was also in pain from an unseen attack from the Oto nin with a humpback but was still on his feet. "Hand over Fu. She needs to return to Taki for her crimes," yelled one of the Taki genin. "And head over Karin. She needs to fulfill her duty back in grass," yelled a grass genin. "Fuck you both. I won't be going back to Taki ever. And Karin isn't going back to be used like some slave to those vile monsters," yelled Fu. "Damn straight. Karin is family, and we stand with family," yelled Menma with a Rasengan in his right hand and a kunai in his left. "Yeah. Now back off," yelled Naruto as her chains were at the ready to fight off the other teams. "Can you traitor? Orochimaru-sama will gut you himself," yelled Dosu. "I don't care. Orochimaru is a monster. I would have run off sooner if I could," yelled Kin. "This isn't good. Niji, is there anything else nearby that we need to worry about?" asked Tenten. "No. At least not yet. But we need to leave before that changes," said Niji. "We can't yet, my friends. The other teams need our help," said Lee. "Thanks for the help, Lee," said Satsuki. Niji grumbles, but he knows that he is outnumbered right now. Just as the enemies were about to attack, they were attacked by a large swarm of insect-like creatures. The insects were small, but they worked together with teamwork and came down on the enemy teams. The Konoha genin were shocked to see this, but they first thought that it was one of the Aburami clan members. The only ones to survive were both Oto nin, a single Taki genin and an IWA nin, but they were all injured heavily. The creatures put themselves between the Konoha nin and the other genin. "What are these things?" asked Niji. He didn't even see them coming and he had his Byakugan activated. Menma, Naruto, and Natsumi smile. "Nizan!" Naruto entered the area from the shadows near his fellow genin. "Hey guys. I see that you have this handled," said Naruto. "Damn you! How dare you get in the way!" yelled the IWA nin. Naruto just glares at the IWA nin. "The only reason you say that is because most of IWA still has a grudge against our father for winning the last war. Your father killed mine. I will avenge him by killing you and your sibling," yelled the IWA nin. "I doubt it," said Naruto. Just then Naruto's chains grabbed the IWA nin by his neck and with a twist, snaped his neck. The IWA nin fell to the ground dead with a shocked look on his face. The Taki genin tried to get up but was bleeding heavily. He glared at Fu and Naruto. He tried to grab a kunai but had his hand was pierced by a dagger thrown by Fu. She dashed forward and slit the Taki genin's throat, making him bleed to death. The Oto nin, seeing that they weren't going to win, tried to make their escape. But Naruto was able to bind them up with his chakra chains. After knocking them out, Naruto placed them in sealing scrolls for transport, but he did take the sound bracer that Dosa had on his arm. "Is everyone okay?" asked Naruto. "We are okay, Naruto. A few bumps and bruises, but we're in one piece," said Ino. "Yeah, thankfully," said Choji. Naruto nods his head and walks over to his team and Karin and Kin. "You okay?" asked Naruto to Kin and Karin. "We are good, Naruto. I am just glad that Kin is safe," said Karin. "But we still need to help Taiyuya," said Kin. "We will. But for now we need to get to the tower. Does everyone have the scrolls that they need to pass?" asked Naruto. "Yep. Got ours this morning, said Ino. Get ours yesterday, said Mito. We have ours. Got the drop on a Kiri team, said Tenten. We still need ours. We just haven't had any luck, said Menma. Kin digs into her pocket and hands Menma an earth scroll. Here. I don't need it, said Kin. Menma smiles at her. Thanks. It seems that we are all ready to move. So can we leave now? I wish to get out of here before more people show up, said Niji. Naruto nods his head. Let's go. Follow me. I know where the tower is. We should reach it within the hour if we move through the trees. The Konoha genin and the 2 extra genin make their way through the trees to the tower. After 40 minutes they made it to the tower. After reaching the tower, they read a message on the wall and opened the scrolls. The scrolls exploded and from the smoke came the senseis of the teams except for Kushina. Iruka came out for Team 12 since Kushina was still trying to make Jiraiya talk. Karin and Kin were taken into the Hokage for debriefing and for safety. The teams were told to wait in the tower for the next 3 days for the next part of the exams to begin. Naruto hung out with his friends and even talked with the other teams. He did note that Kabuto and his team hadn't made it to the tower, so he must have been captured by the ANBU agents. Naruto also wondered how his Kukulavi was doing with Orochimaru. By the end of the 5 days, only Team 13 was not allowed to move on due to Sai and Sakuri's injuries, much to Sasuke's rage. Other than the Konoha genin, a team from IWA, Suna, Kumo and Nadeshiko had passed the exams. With the reveal that so many passed, the genin had to now fight multiple opponents to move on the final round of the exams. Only the top 8 would move on and prove to others if they had what it took to have the Chunin rank. Okay, brats. We will soon decide who will go first. It will be a random draw. So without further ado, let's see who will go first, said Anko. Everyone looked up to the wheel that would show who would be fighting first. The wheel landed on Naruto, Uzumaki, Namikaze, and Kankuro no Sabaku. Naruto sees this and grins and jumps to the ground below, with Kankuro right behind him. Just then one of Naruto's old bodyguards, a man by the name of Hade Gecko, jumped into the arena. He was close to losing his place in the ANBU unit due to a bad cough, but thanks to Tsunade he was back to full health. Everyone. I am the proctor of the preliminaries of this part of the exam. I am giving you this one warning. If you disobey me, I will stop the match and make the other fighter the winner. So when I say stop, you better stop. Now are both fighters ready? Asked Hate. Naruto made a dust blade of lightning and readied himself, while Kakuro grabbed his puppet off his back. Ready, said both fighters. Hate nods his head and brings his hand down. Hajime. With this the preliminaries have begun. TNI Department. Jiraiya was chained the wall of his cell. He was bleeding heavily from his wounds that he got from Kushina and Minato. Tsunade refused to heal him any more than just to make sure that he stayed alive. He was just stripped of not only his Sannin status but also lost the Toad contract and his connection to Senjutsu, and felt like he aged by 10 years. While Minato and Kushina didn't get anything out of him thanks to a hidden seal on him that would make him unable to answer their questions, he was still a prisoner of Konoha TNI. Jiraiya glared at the floor. He couldn't understand what the hell was happening. Why was this happening? He, Danzo, and Fugaka's grandfather had planned everything perfectly. Everything was working fine for years, but in the past 2 months everything was failing faster than he could put it back together. He knew that someone was causing this to happen. But like all great minds, he has a few backup plans in place. The Akatsuki are in place at Rain, and Danzo has the puppet rule in Grass. If my info is right, then Orochimaru will attack Konoha during the Chunin exam finals. He has Suna in his back pocket, which means the Uchiha as well. When Orochimaru attacks, I will make my escape. I just need to hold out until then. And when I escape, I will find the one who has made the plan so much harder, thought Jiraiya. Then from a dark corner of the cell came a mocking voice. Well, what do we have here? A fallen Sannin locked up in his own village for treason. Oh Jiraiya, what a fool you are, said the voice. Jiraiya looks over to see a man wearing a black cloak, silver chains around the man's neck. Jiraiya was unable to see his face but could tell that this man was enjoying his misery. "Who are you? How did you get in here?" asked Jiraiya. Chuckle. To answer your second question first, there are few things that can stop me, Jiraiya. As to the first, call me Lindorm. Lindorm? Asked Jiraiya. Yup. You know, I have to say I am surprised that you are still awake after the beating that you got from Kushina and Minato. But that is what you get for hurting their son. I am shocked that Tsunade hasn't castrated you yet for what you have done, said Lindorm. Jiraiya growls. If you are just here to laugh at me, then just leave. Lindorm shakes his head. How you got the title of Sannin is beyond me. Oh well. I am sure Naruto will do better with the title in a few years. Maybe he will be a better spy master than you and make sure that his spies aren't so easy to spot, he said with a grin. Jiraiya widens his eyes and then narrows at Lindorm. You, snarled Jiraiya. You did this, didn't you? You made Minato and Kushina leave sooner than I wanted them. You gave Naruto those powers that he doesn't deserve. You were the one who has been tearing apart my plans for months, aren't you? Lindorm keeps the grin. Yes to the first, no to the second, and somewhat to the third. I did mess up your plans a little bit, but that was mostly someone else. I did help send Minato and Kushina here sooner, true, and when they did, someone else jumped onto that wagon to help Naruto. Damn you. Do you know what you have done? You have interfered in a plan that has been cultivated for years, yelled Jiraiya. Lindorm only chuckles. Oh, stupid Jiraiya. Allow me to let you in on a little secret. Even if you went with that plan of yours, the outcome would have been the same. The only difference here is that I sped up the timeline a bit. What do you mean? Asked Jiraiya. Come now, Jiraiya. Did it not occur to you that messing with not one, but two prophecies wouldn't get you into hot water? I mean, you not only tried to control a war between two brothers that has been going on for centuries, but you even tried to mess with the champion of Kami, for God's sake. Did you not think that others beyond you wouldn't notice? Or even let you get away with it? Asked Lindorm. It doesn't matter. I know of the prophecy and that the champion of Kami will change the world. I will not let that happen unless Konoha alone comes out on top. Not IWA, not Suna, and definitely Yuzashio when it was around. Only Konoha has the right to exist in this world, said Jiraiya. Lindorm laughs out loud at the foolishness of the former Toad Sage. Oh, you poor old fool. You still don't get it, do you? The great prophecy wasn't meant to be told to humans. And you are the perfect example of why that is. But it no longer matters. The prophecy has changed from what it once was. And this time you won't be able to stop it or change it, said Lindorm with an evil grin. Jiraiya was sweating in fear at that. What do you mean? I mean that the prophecy has been altered thanks to your interference. You want to know the new prophecy? Asked Lindorm with the evil grin never leaving his face. Jiraiya gulps and nods his head. Lindorm chuckles at Jiraiya and nods his own head. He then began to speak. The champion of Kami, full of light and darkness, with beasts of fear and dread, shall show his enemies no mercy. The 10 great beasts that have been shackled will be set free from their prisons one by one. The Great Mother, cured of her curse, will help ready the champion for the arrival of her kin. By his side will the Queen of Monsters stand. His greatest warriors will have eyes of lilac and silver. 2 worlds will be saved from the coming ruin of world eaters. In time 2 worlds will one become. None will stand in his way, and those that do will not see the passing day. For the champion is King of Grimm. Jiraiya is sweating even more at that prophecy. This was not like the last one. There was nothing about him in it nor anything that would help him understand how to control it. But just before Jiraiya could think on it more, Lindorm spoke up. Well, I best be on my way, said Lindorm as he made his way to the door. But stopped just before it and turned to Jiraiya. Oh, one last thing. Lindorm was right in Jiraiya's face a second later. Jiraiya was shocked by the speed, but his heart almost stopped when he saw the red eyes of Lindorm. I would stay alive, Jiraiya, for as long as you can. For when you die, someone has some plans for you in the afterlife. And she is angry with you, said Lindorm. Jiraiya snaped open his eyes in shock and fear. He looks around the room to see that he is still in his cell in TNI. He breaths in heavy breaths to calm himself down. Just a nightmare. I can fix this. I have to. I will see this plan work. No matter what, thought Jiraiya. Jiraiya went back to sleep hoping that the nightmare that he just had wasn't a premonition of things to come. Unaware that Lindorm is very real and was just outside his cell grinning ear to ear. Chuckle. Oh, I love doing that to fools and stupid people. I gave Jiraiya the new prophecy, and he thinks that it was just a nightmare. Foolish Jiraiya. Time to move on and see what happens next, said Lindorm. He then disappears in flash of silver light. Chapter end. Tired of watching censored fanfics? Would you like to watch some very naughty, filled with the lemons fanfics without any censorship? I'm happy to announce that I opened Patreon page for you guys, where you could watch Naruto/Deku, 18+ stories without any censoring. Not only that, you can also see the NSFW images of characters of the fics on my Patreon, which I make by myself. So buy your preferred tier and join our community now. Link is in the description.